You've heard about transforming your life, goal setting, being on your purpose, stopping procrastinating and wasting time and instead achieving goals and being healthy. But how can you actually do this? It's so easy to feel directionless, like there isn't anything practical that you can do to change your life right now. But there is. Today I'm going to show you what I do to achieve my goals, reduce distractions, and live a life that I'm actually proud of. Now there's two systems you need to understand to achieve your goals. That is the macro focus and the micro focus. Macro focus is to know what you're working towards on a long-term scale. Essentially, where are you going and how are you going to get there? And then there's micro focus. This is the day-to-day, getting shit done, turning up on time. Let's start with the macro focus. We are going to find your desired outcome. What I want you to do is think about or journal your dream life and be really ambitious. Think, do you want a family? Do you want a high-paying career? Do you want to be a master of a certain skill? The more specific you can be with this, the better. Think 5, 10, 20 years in the future. What does the dream life look like for you? Don't have it be some bullshit like I want to be an astronaut. Make sure it's something you can actually achieve. But if you're actually willing to put in the effort for it, you can achieve anything. I'll do this now for myself. I want to be in excellent physical and mental shape. I want a loving, healthy family with a relationship and children. I want money, and I also don't want to be tied down to a career doing something that I don't like. I also really want time and location freedom, meaning I can be where I want, when I want, and I don't have to go by anyone else's schedule. So now we have an avatar. It's you in the future, and we have to bridge the gap between where you are now and how you're going to become the person you want to be. Now, we might not be able to do all of these things at once, but there's things that we can do in the next 4 to 6 months that's going to bring us closer to that avatar. These things that you can start working towards are called purpose layers. In the middle is this ultimate person you want to become, but outside of that there's rings, they're layers, and you've got to work towards them gradually. The more you achieve and the quicker you achieve them, the quicker you become the person that you want to become. So to start, we need to craft out your first purpose layer. How do we do this? Well, think, what can you do in the next 4 to 6 months that's going to improve your life as much as possible? It can be going to the gym, building muscle and gaining 4 kilos. It can be leveling up or starting a new career. It could be moving to a new city or getting a driving license or a motorcycle license. When you achieve these things, you have a new standard of life because you have options that you didn't have before. When you're a beginner, you can just start anywhere and just start building these things up. But as you get more advanced, you actually start to need to be more specific with what you achieve. An excellent pillar to start with is the gym. You probably already go to the gym, or at least you have done before, so you kind of understand the gist of it. But when you start to build your body and it becomes a main staple of your life, you see yourself transform in the mirror, which is incredibly powerful, and it transforms your self-image and everything about you. Once you're already going to the gym consistently, you might then have it as a pillar to increase your mental health. So as well as your physical, you've got your mental health going up at the same time. When this is your purpose layer, you want to optimize as much of your life as you can towards achieving that purpose layer. You want to make it difficult to do things that degrade your mental health. So you might set up blockers for social media. You might delete your account. You want to start real life hobbies so you can take the energy you were wasting and put it into something productive so you don't relapse and so that you can improve at something else. So to reiterate, here's a plan if you're a beginner. For the first 4 to 6 months, just get into the gym, get more active and focus on getting stronger. In the next 6 months, focus on improving your mental health. Make it harder to do things that degrade your mental health and really try and be mindful of what those things are. Take these technological addictions and turn them into real life hobbies. Whether it's a sport or learning a language or getting into camping, doing stuff that's in person which really makes you happy and doesn't sap your energy. So after a year of working on the stuff, you'll have much better physical and mental health, and you'll have a list of hobbies, and then you can start to achieve things in these hobbies. I do jiu-jitsu, for example, and you have a belt system which goes from white to black. It kind of shows you where you're at in your journey from beginner to mastery. Getting a belt happens once every few years, and it's a symbol that you're climbing, becoming better and better at this thing. This YouTube channel is a hobby and possibly a future career for me, so getting more subscribers, setting landmarks like that, that's small wins that I can count. I'm going to show you one of my purpose layers so you can see exactly how I structure it and how I set the goals that I want to work towards. The first thing I do is give it a title. So this one is from earlier this year, and it's Spanish learning, developing a work purpose, and balancing life. So I had this idea, what's the thing I can do that's going to develop my life the most? And a massive longing that I had was a work purpose. Because I'm so against traditional jobs, it's important for me that I have source of income and also a source of purpose. I'd also just come back from a Spain trip at the start of this year, and I really set it as an intention that I was going to learn Spanish. I've been learning on and off for years, but this year I've really turned up the intensity of my learning. So I give myself a general time frame, which you can see, and I might adjust it, make it longer or shorter whilst I'm actually doing it, depending on how it's going. I'll then set some specific goals, so I get to B1 Spanish, that's like a level which shows how far you are. Then develop work purpose. What I did was create a video course, and I've really defined my niche with YouTube, which is determining the direction of this channel. I had cutting down in weight, which I did. You basically want to set around 5 goals. This is once you become more advanced and you want to really define some things. If you're like me and you've got momentum because you've been doing these things for years, I don't need to set a goal to keep going to the gym because it's easy for me. I want to have new things and new goals which benefit me now. Below, I'll journal my motivations for wanting to achieve these things, and then I identify what I need to do to achieve them. This shows me what tasks I need to be doing day to day to help me progress in these layers. Also, when I'm just going about my life, I can reread this and it serves as motivation because it reminds me why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. I write these down in my notes app, and you can have a folder, and then below it you can make journal entries, and I just write down how it's going every couple of weeks, any roadblocks that I'm running into, or if I'm doing well, then I kind of praise myself. Sometimes I'll start by working on one goal and then I realize I didn't actually want to achieve that but something else, and I'll write about why I'm changing it and how I think that's suiting me. So you can do this yourself. When you're starting out, focus on one thing like physical or mental health. As you progress and keep on going down this journey, you can define it into more nuanced things that suit you and your own growth journey. So that's the micro focus. That's how you're going to become the person you want to become. Now, micro focus. This is what we're going to do day to day to actually improve our life quality and what we're going to spend our time on. Micro focus is about doing high ROI habits. ROI means return on investment. So you go to the gym for 4-5 hours a week, and in turn you get a great body and you feel in great physical shape. This is a fantastic return on investment. Whereas you spend 2 to 3 hours a day on social media, you get not much out of it. It reduces your attention span. It's not good for you. This is a terrible return on investment. So the habits which help you most towards achieving the goals that you wrote down are the highest ROI activities. For me with this channel, scripting, recording and editing videos are the highest ROI activities. So you want to make sure that you're consistent with these. So simply just get a habit tracker. You can make a physical habit tracker. You can get one on your phone as long as you can write down and keep check of the things that you're doing each day. Just try and keep it consistent as possible. So you might have meditation as one of the things on your habit tracker. You write it down. You tick it when you do it each day. You try to do it every day if possible. You can also create a calendar, or the day before you can write down what you're going to do tomorrow, as in from midday to 2 I'll record videos, from 2 to 2:30 I'll eat, 2:30 till 3:30 I'll read, and you just do this for each hour of the day. You also need to reduce anything which is low ROI and which takes away your motivation to work. The high ROI activities that help you in your purpose layers require energy. If you're being lazy, you're not going to do these things and you're going to feel regret, which will lower your self-image. Therefore, we need to reduce anything that's giving us a lot of dopamine, which is easy and makes us feel lazy. So, scrolling on social media, get rid of that. Video games, get rid of that. If you're drinking too much, that's a problem. Doing bad habits doesn't just harm us because they're directly bad for us, it also takes away from our ability to do good. You only have so much energy, and if you're putting energy into stuff like social media, you're not going to have energy for your goals. This is why we do the two in conjunction. We reduce bad habits, we increase good habits, and we do this more and more over time, so our life becomes less like this, doing loads of bad and not a lot of good, to more like this, doing maybe a little bit of bad but a lot of good. Hopefully now you'll never again say there's nothing to do, I'm just going to be lazy today, because you realize there's always things you can do. There's always things either in the macro or the micro focus that you can do to change your life. If you don't know exactly what these things are that's going to change your life, just try loads of random stuff. Inactivity is one of the biggest curses because you're never going to find out what you like if you don't try anything. So try random hobbies, try random classes, get out into the world as much as you can and just try to experience life, because that is what it's for living. If you try a bunch of different things, then eventually you'll find something that you like, stick with that and improve in that, and that's going to develop you as a person and make life worth living. So go out now and craft your purpose layer, work towards it ruthlessly and become the person that you want to become. I hope you got a lot out of this video, and I'll see you in the next one.